Right, welcome back. We're still discussing how to create idea and generate income. All right, so that takes me to another question. What makes a great idea in the first place?
Okay, simple. For me, what makes a great idea is an idea that solves problems.
Exactly.
Because it's the one that solves problems that will bring money into your pocket. Because the problems you solve, that's what you get paid for, right? So a great idea is one that solves problems, number one. Now, a great idea also needs to be simple, because if the idea is so complex that you take forever to even make the next person understand it, then there's a problem. Because a lot of great ideas will outlive the owner of the idea. You understand? They will get bigger than you at some point. So if you cannot explain it to the next person, then there's an issue, right? So it should be simple. The execution of it may not be as simple, but the idea itself should be simple enough to explain, right? Then the other thing is that a great idea must be actionable. You know, we said it from the beginning.
Exactly.
If you build castles in the moon and, you know, talk about how you can take pure water to the desert, you know, but there is no action. There is no action plan. That idea, you cannot develop an action plan on it to show how it will happen, how you will get it through to happen and, you know, add value to people. Then there's a problem. So for me, those are the things that make a great idea.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Just to add to what she said, what I have here, I say solve problem, which you just mentioned, satisfaction derived from great idea. And it generally improves people's life, generally improves people's lives, and also economically wise too.
Yeah.
Because you can't have idea without money that follows. That's why I say it must generate income. And so those are the things that really make good ideas. So the basic one is, or the major one is that it has to solve a problem. Then where do ideas come from? And how do we get fresh ideas?
Fantastic.
2-in-1 question. Where does it come from and how do we get fresh ideas?
Okay, so ideas actually come from everywhere. Everywhere and anywhere, you know. You can get ideas by just observing your environment, seeing the problems. And I'll tell you something. The problems that irk you the most, the problems that annoy you the most, the problems you complain about the most in your environment are probably the ones you're called to. You're called to do something about them.
To get a solution to that.
Yeah. You're probably wired to solve that problem if you think deep enough through it. If you don't just complain and just, you know, because most of us, we live our lives on autopilot, so we think about something, we drop it, we move on. You will need to stay with it to be able to get the solution for it. So, number one, observation. Number two, you get ideas from discussing with people. Like I'm here today, I'm inspired, right? So that's why you go to places like that. You get inspiration from talking to people. You get inspiration. Some people, you just meet them. They haven't said anything, you are inspired. Some people, you just get to see what they are doing, you are inspired. Okay? Now, for those of us, so sometimes you find that people go somewhere, they sit down with nature, they are observing the sea, the waves, you know, people go to the beach and all those kind of things. For some of us, it's just fun to go and run around, play with water. But for a lot of people, they get there to be inspired and to get ideas, you know. So for some people, it's music. They just play music, a particular kind of music, and they are listening to it and they are thinking deep into different areas of their lives and they are getting ideas. For some people, it is meditation, you know. For some of us that are people of faith, we believe that the best ideas come from God. Yeah. So when you pick a problem area of your life and you're thinking through it with God and you're applying God's words to it and you're thinking deeply, meditating on what God has said about that area of your life, you can get ideas just like this. And for me, those are even the best ideas because as he's giving you those ideas, he already knows your wiring. He knows that you can do it.
Yeah. That's very correct. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, it comes from the brain as well. Like you mentioned before, you should talk about some people that go to the beach and they just sat down on their mat or whatever. You think they are just watching the movement of the water and all. They are thinking.
They're thinking.
That's brave from the mind. They're just thinking. You mentioned that meditating. So ideas come from there, and ideas can also come through dreams as you are sleeping. God give you something to do. I helped one person some time ago. He said each time he sleeps, he will find himself making certain things with metal.
Wow.
He will carving this machine to grind cassava,
Wow.
to grind pepper and all those things. The one he
Wow.
fabricates by himself.
Wow.
God will just be showing him in the dream. When he woke up, he takes a pen and starts sketching it down. And so that's why he was looking for money to now push the idea out. And it was directed to us in Lapo to assist him. That's why we got it. And I did. I'm proud of that young man today. So that's what it is. So you could come from sleep and all as we just mentioned. But what we're saying when it comes, do not suppress it. Try and start building it up. Write it down and then start developing and take it out. Before you know it, it becomes a big one. For example, I just mentioned Lapo, by the way. But Lapo started with just 3 women. 3. 1, 2, 3, 100 naira. Today, there are more than 7 million women we have helped. The branches are over 500 in Nigeria. 34 states in Nigeria. 3 women. And it's billions they disburse on monthly basis. Billions. They disburse on monthly basis. So just 3. We just say, what am I going to do? If I was started, my husband was almost discouraged. Said, and this couple, we can't without all these women. We have already seen that there's future in what we're doing. And we'll continue. So you can see how it is. He mentioned some of the big businesses you hear about. It's just one day for a single idea.
Yep.
So nothing is, just don't think that, look, Dangote is everywhere. Hey, he has this, it's a conglomerate. It's just one person, Dangote.
Yep.
That's something, no? But ideas start coming, start expanding. So pick your own as little as it is, even as a young person. It's even better at your age when you're young.
Yeah. You have time to
Before
make your mistakes.
you get to our age, you're already solidified. So take that. All right? So lastly, before we take a question from them, and so obviously there are methods of generating ideas and creativity. Mention some of them, please.
Okay, so thank you. Like we have talked about, thinking, meditating, having time to yourself, right? And one of the things I will also advise is teach yourself to see opportunities in every problem.
Yeah, don't limit yourself.
Teach yourself to see opportunities in every problem. There's a saying that every problem is an opportunity in disguise. The story was told about a shoe company that sent 2 salesmen into Africa. One to the East Coast, one to the West Coast. And they were supposed to check the market potential for their products.
Yes, and bring back the report to the company.
Yes, and bring back the report. They did the basic surveys. And 2 people from the same company, one of them called in and said, nobody wears shoes here. There's no market here.
Can you imagine?
The other person called and said,
We'll
nobody wears shoes here. The market is untapped. Please send inventory fast.
We have huge market here. Nobody wears shoes. So
there are 2
teach them
people,
how to wear shoes.
the same situation, but seeing it differently.
Perspective,
So if you don't get anything from today's session, let it be that one of the things you get is a mindset shift.
Mindset shift. Write it down.
Mindset shift. Because you see, you win and you lose in your mind. The battles of life begin in your mind and they end there.
Of course.
Is what happens inside that comes out. You need to teach yourself to not run away from problems, but rather run towards them. Did somebody hear me?
Yeah.
Do not run away from problems. Run towards problems, because every problem is an opportunity in disguise. Then, very important, like I said before, a lot of us, we live our lives on autopilot. So you cruise through the day, there's cuckoo pressure. Lagos is full of pressure. You cruise through the day, you come back, you just sleep so that you can get up again and continue the cruise and continue the autopilot. No. People who become great, they find some time. It doesn't have to be a long time, stretch of time. It can be anything from 5 minutes to whatever you can afford, whatever time you can afford. But that thinking, that meditation, that thinking, that reflection, that visioning has to happen.
Yeah.
She told us how she started about Lapo. Why did they, was it easy?
No.
It couldn't have been easy. Why did they pull through? Because they could see something that other people were not seeing. They had the picture in their head of a tomorrow that they are seeing today.
That's it.
That thing is important. What I just described, you must do it for yourself every day. Vision and ask yourself, where am I going with this? See yourself. Forget about whether you have the money or not. The money part does not stop you from visioning. Visioning creates something that takes away sleep from your eyes. Because when you catch that idea and you're so passionate about it, you won't lie down and be sleeping. You will get up, you will run like something is chasing you. You won't say, oh, I want to do business, but I'm looking for a shop. You will start even without a shop. And before you know it, you raise money to rent a shop. Because that's another thing I see that limits a lot of young people.
Yeah.
They don't have capital, they don't
say
have
yes,
shop,
yes.
they want to rent shop, want a clinical.
is the best
Start
thing.
the thing first. That thing you see yourself becoming. Start it first. If it's about food, start. You can do door to door if you like in your area.
Yes.
And before you know it, the provisions will come. Somebody will see you and see the seriousness with which you're doing what you're doing. Provision comes. That's what I've been taught, that vision will always bring the provision, not the other way around.
Yes. Practice daily. Don't limit yourself from expectations. Read and make connections.
Yes.
Stop criticizing yourself. I don't think I can do this. No, this is too much. I don't think I can do it. You can also change your surroundings. Changing your surroundings could be changing your friends around you.
Absolutely.
Your friends that if you discuss with them, they'll draw you that.
They kill the idea.
Hey, this is joke of the year. You think you can do this one? You can change that surroundings. You can also change surroundings where you live. And you feel that, I think staying here may not give me what I want. Let me move to, maybe from city to urban and all that.
Exactly.
So these are how you can get the idea. And you see that when you get it, you fly with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter what age. At least let me just say from 18 years and above, because this is also what this program is. 18 to 30 years as audience.
Wow.
So you already that maturity age to take decisions. And so don't allow people to draw you down. If you have outside there, you're saying to your parents and bring it before your parents want to tell you, no, it's not something you can do. Tell your parents the reason, and that you can make it. And once you're able to convince them, they'll give you a helping hand as well. So that is it. So money should not even be the first thing. The first thing, getting the idea, sell it out to people you feel will not run down your morals or your faith, and then you continue. Money will come. I tell you, money will come if they see where they're going to go.
This is VVV.